I'm Dave Wiesdock, Sage of Creative Scaffolding.
And I'm Jen West, Professional Rebel of Delight.
And this is Shadowcasting. Hey Jen, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, but you sound a little less than normal today.
Yeah, I'm struggling with a migraine today, but literally the show must go on, right?
It must. So, what are you bringing to the table since it's quote day?
Well, I thought since I was suffering from a migraine that I would read a quote about living life even when things aren't all that ideal. And this is from Agatha Christie. And it goes, I like living. I have sometimes been wildly, despairingly, acutely miserable, racked with sorrow. But through it all, I still know quite certainly that just to be alive is a grand thing.
Are you feeling it?
Oh, I'm definitely feeling alive. My body is letting me know it is not happy today.
Oh my gosh, acutely miserable and yes, still alive.
Yeah. So what comes up for you in this quote?
Well, this one for me, it reminds us that we're not supposed to always be happy. Why would we always be in a state where everything's going our way and happening at a high, joyous level? Sometimes stuff just sucks. And you do feel sad and you do feel miserable. In this case, wildly and despairingly so. And still, it's the act of being alive. We're here, we're on this planet, we're experiencing the world. The ups and the downs are what make it special and give it nuance and give us a reason to feel joy. If all we felt was that higher energy, then how would we know? It would become mundane and kind of boring if you were always joyous, because we get kind of bored with stuff. So having that miserable state, which I'm sure you're truly enjoying right now, Dave.
Yeah, I was thinking how there's this misnomer that being alive has to do with joy, that there's this association that you're only really alive when you're happy or joyful or these positive emotions, and that when you feel things like sorrow or a migraine, that those aren't being fully alive. But I think in reality, it's all of it. Living is the wholeness. It's the good and the bad. It's the sorrow and the joy. It's the migraines and the days where you don't have migraines.
Yeah, 100%. I think we've come into a time where if we feel the least bit of discomfort, then we're doing something wrong with our life. And the getting into it and dealing with what's hard has kind of lost meaning for us. If we're in a hard place or things aren't going the way we want or we're desperately sad, everything must be off kilter and we're not living right. Maybe we shouldn't be living. And it's the opposite. When you're in that deep place, you are in a living state. You are alive. You are a part of the world.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Maybe you don't want to be a part of the world. Like you right now just want to curl up in a cave and sleep. And that's okay too. We don't have to be on 24/7. And I think it's a important realization for us to come to, that we're allowed to be low energy and down and not be on that high. It's okay, listeners. I may be a rebel of delight, but I'm not always in that delight state. Sometimes I just want to curl up under a blanket and let the entire day just fade away. So keep that in mind as you're shadow casting. I think moving from that as well, when you're having a down day, it's learning to own it for yourself and not make it everybody else's down day as well. Things aren't going well. You don't feel on the ball. Don't blame. still just see life is carrying it on and everybody's seeing it from a different perspective. So some people will still be bright. Some people will be off. Some people will be sick, like my poor co-host. and we have to own where we are and be where we are and be okay with other people not being in that same space with us.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Do you have anything else to add, or should we just keep this one short and let everybody, sit with the idea that Christie leaves here? Just that when you are in those low places, to realize that being alive is a really grand thing, even when you're not sure that you want to be at that moment.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that's a great way to like kind of end this quote is to sit with that idea of it being a grand adventure still, a
Yeah.
grand thing.
Yeah. Something to lean into and realizing that the suffering will end and good things will come. It's kind of on a pendulum. So hold out when it sucks and really just lean in when it feels nice. And with that, I'll try to do the closing. Dave always handles it. Leave us a message. Tell us how you feel about being acutely miserable or racked with sorrow and holding space for being alive, still being a grand thing. Give us a like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you are listening. And until next time,
See ya.